Yes, welcome to another Luthier's Lair. This is part 8 of Project Boris, aka the gas-based quintessence model that is being built for a customer of mine. In this episode, we're going to actually start, getting the blank cut out, routed, and we're going to have a look at some stains and dyes that we might use on the black limber wood just for added pizzazz. So without much further ado, let's get to it, and we'll do some sanding as well. Awesome. Okay, so now what I have on the front side, I've routed the pickup cavities, pockets, neck pocket, whatever, and I have my template now for the controls, and this cannot move. So I've done the jack already. This is very delicate operation, and what I do have is a piece of wood underneath so that it will tear out. I'm going to do it systematically. Actually, I'll slow that down as well. Put this in here. And what that does on the front side now, it will mark where I intend to put everything. Let me remove these from your view. And yeah, so just drilled all the control locations. So let's just take this out. See what we got. Wormhole, of course, that's black limber for you. So that's the control template. We'll put that to the side. Put this over here. We will flip this. And yes, we did go through into the wood. It was there. Prevent tear out, of course. And we'll put that there, and we'll put this back in. And there you are. That's how it's going to look. That's a wormhole. So we've got to make sure that we know that's a wormhole. I'll just see that wormhole, right? It's crazy. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Now get filled. There you go. So what you'd have to do really is to route everything out before even cutting the body out, because you're going to have that center line all the time as reference. And if you have a good square cut on your blank, your wood, you can measure up, measure down, measure anywhere, and you know it's going to be true. There's the, I don't know if you could see that, but that's the 34-inch scale length there, and that's the front of the bridge pickup. Bridge pickup very near to the bridge. Always like to do that. Overwind the bridge pickup so it picks up a bit more signal, and then the neck pickup slightly underwind, and then make sure they're in phase, of course. But that's cool. That's about it. All I've got to do now is route out battery cavities, for battery boxes, be good to go. Brilliant. So now that the control cavity is routed with black limber, the thickness of the wood at the control cavity was 1/4 of an inch, and you know, that's not much. So for black limber, with mahogany and stuff, I can get away with it, but with black limber, I usually put a 0.05 inch carbon fibre plate in the control cavity there, and that serves to also do some shielding. It will get copper shielded anyway over the top, but I like to put that in there, and I use JB Weld basically, to epoxy to fasten that in place. It actually dries in about 6 minutes and then cures fully in about 3 or 4 hours here in Florida. A lot of cooler climates, like below 40 Fahrenheit or so, it takes quite a bit longer to cure. So yeah, that reinforces the front of the cavity there, and the actual plane of the cavity. And of course, that's the, I don't know if I like this or not, we'll see, but you know, control plate, that's the control cover there, and just take that off. Oh, that's on there. So yeah, looks nice as well, gives it a nice effect, although it's going to get covered with copper tape, you know, but it's always better, it's peace of mind for me to have that in there, so that the front doesn't collapse inwards, you know. Like I said, it's 1/4 of an inch thick at the face there, so it's not too much. If I reinforce it with carbon fibre and JB Weld epoxy, it's pretty much unbreakable. You need to take a hammer to break it. So, cool. Okay, all the control holes are drilled to size here. Now I do have a wormhole here in this piece of wood right here, and I have one up here. You know, that's normal with black limber. The way to get rid of that is to just sand over it a bit, and you'll get some dust, and you can just force that in. Just be nice and gentle. You don't want a big gouge in there. The gouge will go away though, and I'll show you how in a minute. See that going away now? And then just go over the top of it. Yeah, it's gonna fall out though, Gary, isn't it? Well, no, it's not really. It's a beautiful piece as well, that. I like that bit. The knobs might hide it, but it's just another little tip coming up. Alright, get it as there. Sort of see it still. Just, this is 220 grit, by the way. You can see all that coming off. Okay, your friend cyanoacrylate, otherwise known as super glue or crazy glue, whatever. Put a drop on there. There we go. Doesn't matter if it smears all over the place, it's okay. Don't worry about it. We're going to just wipe a lot of that off. We'll put that in there. That'll set, we'll be fine. Then we'll use a blade or a cabinet scraper or whatever to get all these mites out and stuff. And you'll never know it was there. You'll never know. I can actually go up here where there's more of this darkish black limber. Take some more out of there. That's going to get cut off anyway, and put that on there. If I can get rid of the fluff on my hands from the cyano, I would be able to do it. Let's get some out here. Pick some up, put it in there. Just dust it on, and you'll be fine. That'll set. Once it's set, I just use a scraper and a piece of tape attached to it and level that off again, and we'll be fine. and I'll do the rest for the ones that are visible here and here, and then on the reverse side it'll be the same thing, you know, just filling that in. That's all we're doing, just filling it in. See, it's hardly visible. Just dance some of that dust over there. Okay, now when I pour cyan on that bit, it'll go. It has to be the runny stuff, the really very liquidy stuff. It's very, it's like water. When you pour that in, it will go away. It's by magic. It will go away. See, I've got that right over there now. Nice little pile waiting. In fact, let's just do it now. Let's just do it now. And there too. Spot. And just let that seep in. Good. That's nearly dry already. Just get a blade and scrape it. Cool. So, you know, I thought I'd take a couple of chunks and the wood I'd have my ass. Anyway, sorry. No, I'll just continue. Yeah, what I did though, I've only got one more cavity to route, and it's okay to route that when the body is cut out. So I took a couple of chunks out of the wood, you know, just very roughly, just up here and stuff, keeping away from the lines, to see how it would stain with different stains, you know, like water based, oil based, stuff like that. It's going to get clear coated anyway, but I want the most resilient and brilliant appearance from the wood. So, you know, I've got a couple of pieces of wood here I can test that with. Now, you know, it'll be fine. So that's what we're going to go and try and do next. Awesome. It's awesome. It's awesome. Okay, so I have cut some wood off of Boris's body here. Very rough bandsawed out because I wanted some blocks just to test some stains on. And I had a choice of 3 here, but I might go for a 4th. I might go for a natural stain. 1's water based and 2 are oil based. Now I can put solar reds, grain filler and a clear coat over the oil based stains, but they got to be absolutely dry, you know. Anyway, let's try the water based one first. And this is Golden Pecan. Now it looks a very murky brown to start with. Let's just give it a little stir here, make sure we're getting an accurate depiction. Okay, and we'll put it on this piece here, I think, just to see how it will kind of look. I kind of like that. Maybe it's a little darker than I would like, but that kind of looks nice. I'm going to put a bit on this block too, just to see how it brings out the other types of grain in the black limber. That doesn't look too bad either. Okay, let's move on to our first oil based, which is the Sedona Red, and I think this is going to be really kind of too red and too dark. We shall see. Open this up. Okay. Yeah, don't think that's going to look very good. We'll see. No, it's too dark, way too dark. So definitely Sedona red is out of the question, and even on the centre block that's going to look really bad, you know. If I do that to the centre, it's going to lose everything. I might even be just leaving the centre piece, the colours that it is natural, so that, you know, when the clear coat does go on, the green will pop anyway. Okay, let's try the last one, which is Ipswich Pine. Ipswich Pine. Okay, and I'm going to put it on the centrepiece anyway, just to see what it's going to look like. Okay, and that's a nice lighter colour, lighter than the Golden Pecan, this one, so let's try it. That's much more subtle. And it's actually very similar to the Golden Pecan. Let's put a piece on this. Yeah, it's lighter than the Golden Pecan, but yeah, that's quite, that really brings out the grain. I might go and get a natural though. Let me try the middle block. Yeah. Nah, I'm going to keep with I'm going to keep this natural. Or at least the maple. I'll keep natural. I might just darken the walnut a little bit, and of course I'll put tape down and stuff to demark all that stuff. Yeah, okay. Decisions. It's beginning to look like a base shaped object, isn't it? Yeah, I just rough bandsawed out Boris's body here. Now I got some 80 grit sandpaper on the oscillating belt sander here, and I'm going to rough sand it in to get the basic shape there. Then I'll probably switch over to 220 grit belt and smooth it out, and then to do the cutouts and the more intricate pieces I'll use a drum sander piece that goes on this nice little piece of equipment. Great time saver this. So let's go and shape Boris, shall we? Well, that's it for part 8. Starting to shape up nicely, I think. Part 9, we'll go further into certain things. Not quite sure what we'll be covering yet, but it'll be fun, because this is a really fun build and something, you know, something I've really wanted to build for a long time. Anyway, stay tuned for that, and if you like what I'm doing here on the channel, consider subscribing. It's free after all. Subscribe, thumbs up, ring that bell for notification of any more uploads that I do in the future. And with that, I'd like to say stay safe, be good, and I'll catch you next time. Thank you very much for watching. Cheers folks. Bye bye.